The heist was flawless. As the 40 security armored truck drove by, a cement truck suddenly blocked its path. The robbers used an excavator to lift and trap the vehicle, then cut through the doors and threw stun grenades inside, knocking out the guards. Unbeknownst to them, a young boy in a nearby car witnessed it all. Seeing the boy, the robbers shouted for him to get out. Trembling, he tried calling his father, but no answer came. Panicked, he dropped to the ground as the robbers moved the cash bags. Suddenly, a guard thought down, sprang up, and lunged, ripping off a robber's mask. The robber showed no mercy, killing the security guards and the boy. Patrick Hill, the boy's father, watched in horror as his son was shot. Fueled by grief and rage, Patrick attacked the robbers, but was shot and left for dead. Before losing consciousness, he remembered the scarred face of the shooter. Miraculously, Patrick survived and spent 3 months in the hospital. Upon discharge, he made a life-changing decision to work for the very security company where the massacre occurred. Rob, the manager, and his colleague Terry discussed the armored truck heist, noting 2 guards and a civilian had died. The mastermind remained unknown. Rob told Patrick Hill he could fill the vacant role if he passed a tough weapons test. Under trainer Bullett's strict watch, Patrick barely met the minimum, but it was enough to become a security guard. Patrick, nicknamed H.E., quickly bonded with veterans like Hollow Bob and Dave. His first transport shift was routine, but the next day danger struck. An armed gang jammed their radio, forcing the truck to stop. From afar, the robbers ordered A to load all the cash into a waiting pickup. A dropped a bag of money on purpose. When a robber reached for it, H threw another bag, then drew his gun and shot him. He quickly took down the rest of the gang, except the leader, who fled, chased him into an alley and executed him. Terry punished H with a month of desk duty for his actions, but CEO Blake Halls praised him as a hero and hinted at a promotion. Soon after, H was asked to review footage from the earlier heist to identify any familiar attackers. Watching the footage, H saw a familiar face but stayed calm, denying recognition. It was later revealed 2 agents worked for a shadowy figure, King, who hoped H would lead them to the heist masterminds. Meanwhile, the other guards praised H's bravery, and he quietly thanked them before returning to work. 3 months later, on a routine run with Bullet, a motorcycle cut off his truck, trapping them with armed gunmen. But when H stepped out and showed his face, the attackers froze and then retreated without touching the money. Terry was shocked, but Blake quickly silenced him. Blake told H he'd lead his own team and to keep up his work. That night, H broke into Dana's home, found hidden cash, and interrogated her. After firing warning shots, Dana confessed to skimming money months earlier, then showed her photos of her parents and warned her against lying again. 5 months earlier, while vacationing in the U.S. with his son Doge, got a call from Mike, a former crime boss and gang leader. Mike offered H a role in one last job, no danger, just to stay 1,000 yards away and drive near the docks where the heist would occur. While buying food, H only had to update Mike on the truck's movements, but he witnessed Doge's death, was unconscious for 3 months, and woke to learn his son had died. Reuniting with his ex-wife Jane, she blamed him, then confronted Mike and his crew, agreeing to work with them to find the real culprits. A hunted gangs in the underworld until one named Brothers linked to the crime. At their hideout, they gave no info, so H quickly took them down. He spotted a security guard there and told his assistant Kirsty to gather records on the staff and autopsy reports. After Doge's death, the heist's masterminds were revealed former Afghan veterans abandoned by society, led by Jackson. His crew included Carlos, Sam, Tom, Brad, and Jan, who killed Doge and shot H. At a lavish party, they planned their next bold armored truck heist. The crew launches a final heist over $150 million to share with Bullet, their insider. As Jackson and Tom plan for weeks, Jan's violent, reckless behavior threatens the operation. Despite worries about Jan, Jackson trusts he'll obey. At Faro, Bullet admits to H he's the mole, disabling cameras before joining the crew in an abandoned building. Jackson's armored team restrains H and loads into the truck. The heist goes smoothly. A panicked soldier hits the emergency button, sparking chaos. Gunfire breaks out as the gang storms the hideout, killing everyone. One member is wounded, but they disable the alarm. The gates open, and the last man drives the pickup in to load the cash. When SWAT is alerted, they arrive in 8 minutes and seal the entrance. Amid the chaos, H grabs a gun, shoots a robber in the leg, and chokes him until he collapses. He then confronts another loading cache, orders him to remove his helmet, but seeing he's not his son's killer, H shoots him anyway. Meanwhile, Dana and another guard capture the remaining crew, ready to call the police. Hesitating, he wastes time until Dana hands him a gun. He then shoots both guards. Dave struggles to get up. Terry is forced outside and shot. Despite injuries, Dave fights back and defeats his attacker. As Jackson's men move the wounded, H opens fire. Dave tries to stand but is shot. Terry is forced out of cover. Is hit but quickly reloads, ready to fight. Over the radio, Dave says the gunman retreated, but when he looks out, bullets fly. H spots Jan, Doge killer. They crash through the gate, ramming police cars as SWAT and a helicopter give chase. With 5 minutes to escape, they head for a secret tunnel. Jackson is wounded, and H is shot in the neck. Jan kills H and leaves him behind. Jan and Bullet move the money by elevator, load it on an ATV, and race 3 miles to the getaway car. When Bullet spots Jan as the traitor, he draws his gun, but Jan shoots first, killing him instantly. Jan grabs the cash and escapes through the tunnels. The police fail to block all exits. Later, Jan relaxes in his apartment with the money when his phone rings and an ominous, familiar voice answers. Jan turns to see H standing there, tossing him Doge's autopsy report. Jan reads the gunshot wounds and freezes on Doge's photo. Memories flood back, H staring at him from the floor. Suddenly, a gunshot hits Jan, pain exploding as he screams, haunted by Doge's final, desperate gaze. Fires without hesitation, hitting Jan's spleen, then heart. Jan collapses, trembling before stillness. A leaves silently, meeting Agent Kim, who nods. It's over, and the money will be recovered. H steps into a car, which drives off into the night.